Hey guys, how are you today?
Let me actually change the camera so you can see us both. So today we're going to start the cultural historical tour in downtown with Rodrigo, and I'm going to be in charge of the camera. So yes, I hope that everything is like good. We are testing these apps that I tried it yesterday. So let's see. Let's see. I think it's working right now. I'm not sure.
Well, it does say live.
Yeah, it says live, so let's hope for the best. Okay. So how are you, Rodrigo?
Well, we're very good actually. We were talking about the weather today, the sun.
Hello from Los Angeles, Pablo de la Hoya.
Hello, Pablo. How are you today?
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for joining us, of course. Yeah, so we were saying I'm really happy. Just talking about the weather, it's quite hot, especially under the sun. So it's been a crazy winter also. Like it's been chilly a few days ago, and now the sun is almost unbearable. So now it's nice that we have some shade here.
Yeah.
And well, the intention, the idea would be to just have a stroll, have an easy walk today, and we'll be able to share with you everything that is possible to be shared as we walk along. Well, pretty much the epicenter, the critical spot in the world, in Mexico City, as a matter of fact. We are just standing beside the axis mundi, or the axis of the world, according to our ancestors, both Ubish and I, great, 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 great grandmother. Well, they used to live around here. So, without any more further notice, let me introduce you, of course, to we are in Mexico City Center, and I would like to present to you the ruins that have been unearthed, built by the Mexica culture, starting about 700 years ago. So this is the heart of the city, the heart of the country, and it's called the Great Temple in Mexico City. Sadly, these ruins, well, they were destroyed by the colonizers, by Cortés, by the Spaniards, to build their city on top of them, and that is also what gives a special charm to Mexico City today. However, for me, for Ubish, as a tour guide, as a Mexican, as someone that likes to share culture and information to other people, because sharing is caring, you know. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite spot in Mexico or in Mexico City, as it's actually the evidence of the presence of these ancestors, Mexica people.
Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin.
Hey,
Hi,
Benjamin, how are you?
Keith. Also, we have Keith in the house.
Good to see you again. Thank
So,
you guys for being here with us today.
yes, thank you so much. So, where do we go?
Okay, well, I just wanted to like make a small comment
Yeah.
for our guys to understand better where we are. Mexico City is it's quite big now, can be comprised into almost like even more than 100 square kilometers. So the centro, the historical district or downtown in Mexico, would be considered maybe the most important, the central part of it. And in this or within this area, this big neighborhood we call today Centro Histórico, we are located just next to the ruins of the Great Temple.
Yes. And it's super hot today, guys. So we're going to try to
If you
avoid
want
a
to
little
stand
bit the
there,
sun.
maybe, and
Okay.
I can just appear in frame, and I will be able
But
to talk.
maybe over here because the audio, I think it's from here. So.
Oh, the audio. Yeah, we need better microphone. Well, I can raise my voice, no problem. So we will take you today along from here to the oldest public park in the Americas, known as Alameda. We'll try also to make some fun stops to taste some ice cream, or we will see what we find in our way. Okay. I just wanted to just point out, and I want you to also witness and presence, please, friends, amigos, the remains. So we will be able to show you a model. I know that what you're looking at right now really just feel like rocks, no, like random rocks, one on top of the other, and also because some of the monumental sculptures have been covered for their protection, thanks to the Ministry of Archaeology. But what we're looking at, guys, is the remains and also the foundations, the very ground level cementation of a temple or a pyramid looking piece of building or architecture that was about 50 meters high. That's almost 100, no, more like 80 feet. It was 50 meters, like about 80 feet high. You know, we're talking about 80 to 100 feet high.
Can you imagine that, guys? That's crazy.
Can you imagine? And this is exactly what represented for the Mexica, the axis mundi, the axis of the world, the center of the universe, the place where the heavens, the physical land, and the underworld, whatever that lies underneath our feet, would meet together and that would be also the power and the control, no, the hegemony to the Mexica people, also known as the Aztecs, to go around and spread their dominance over the Mesoamerican territory. You know, we're talking about 700 years ago, the 1300s, the 1500s. That's when the Spaniards arrived, and that's where the last chapter of the Mexica was written, and the first chapter of the new civilization, the mixture, the blend, the fusion that we call mestizaje, started with the arrival of the European boats, no, to the Gulf of Mexico. So here you can imagine this was the most important temple dedicated to the Mesoamerican cosmovision, spirituality, and it was also built or made of 7 concentric structures that were built one on top of the other, very similar like to an onion in layers. This was either representing seasons in time or representing also the power as it was heired to another or the next governor, let's say. We are still away, very away to understanding, very far away to really understanding the cosmovision and the real thinking and the magic of our people, of our ancestors. However, we can still see today some of the remains of their magnificent genius in terms of architecture, in terms of understanding the world. This temple had 2 great shrines on top, dedicated to the understanding of duality as the most important ideas of our Mesoamerican civilizations. You know, the duality that has to do with fertility, with life, with water, with the green season, with the rain season, and the other side that had to do with the opposite, but better said, complementary, not opposite, but complementary. That would be war, that would be dry season, that would be fire, that would be death. So we have this life and death, great duality combined together in a single pyramid that was later destroyed. So this is very, very cool and very, very interesting, fascinating spot of our city here in Mexico, and also that kind of like narrates and whispers to us just a little bit of the elements of the people that lived here before, you know, our ancestors, really, to say.
Yeah, every time that we learn history, I think in the school, we start to get kind of angry, maybe. Do you think? Let's say, Keith. Hola, Keith. How are you? Lizzie from California. Martin from the UK. Paquina class. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, guys. What else can we see here, Rodrigo?
Well, we can see the layers as it was built. Maybe you can focus over here a little bit. We are just really meters, like just a few inches away from the actual architecture of the Mexica, the Aztec people. These things that we're looking on this portion, they are steps. This is the 7th phase of construction of the Great Temple. These steps would take you all the way up to where the shrines dedicated to these divine forces were built. But just behind, we have other sets of steps. Those over there, they look just like the ones we have here. And these ones belong to a previous or earlier phase of construction. This is where we can really see the 2 different moments in time at the same time. This is quite incredible. So from here, this would be the last layer. From here, we would have the complete construction of that monumental temple that we can see the model over there.
Wow. Hi, Pierre from Lyon. So they are watching us in Lyon, France.
Awesome.
You're great. That's
Lyon, Mexico or Lyon, France?
No, Lyon, France.
All right.
Victor, my friend. Hola, Dean, SMS. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Rodrigo and I, we are very excited to have you here. Today we're in the downtown of the city, and it's very sunny, very hot. So yes, we're going to buy a coffee maybe later. Dean SMS, just subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Yeah, please remember, if you like these streamings, subscribe so that you can get all the notifications in time and also be able to share it with your friends and family. Everyone that would like to just have a glimpse of Mexico, even if it's virtually like we are doing right now, and you're probably planning to come to Mexico in the future, we'll be more than happy to host you here. And if you're going to show you the model.
Yeah.
So this model that we have here was built by the Ministry of Anthropology and History as well. And that temple or pyramid-looking temple that I was telling you about, we could see the ruins over there. It's the biggest one in the middle. So I'm going to try to point using my finger.
I'm going to try to zoom over here. I can't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yes.
All right. Awesome. So yeah, that great temple in the middle, the biggest one of all, with the 2 little shrines on top.
Yeah.
That's the temple that was built right here, guys. And then every other piece of architecture, every other ceremonial place or temple that you can see also surrounding this big pyramid, within or bordered by this kind of like block, a big block, like an area. All of that was considered the sacred precinct of the Mexica civilization. That would be there, the house of the holy, the places for the spiritual and the transcendental forces of life and death, fertility and transformation. That is what we call today the Great Temple. And it's most of it now today buried underneath the city that we can see that was built by the Spanish. So one or the first great data or piece of information that we can find right now is that Mexico City, at least in the center, is more than one city. It's actually two cities. The city we can see and the city that is still buried underneath the city we can see, which is the pre-Columbian or the pre-Hispanic Mexica city. Of course, there's many stories and there's a lot of things. We could actually spend 1 hour and 30 minutes, guys, here speaking about the way the Mexica arrived here and telling you all the secrets related to this spot. But we can save that for another program, maybe, for another streaming. And we can continue to just stroll and we can show you a lot more around this neighborhood. Exactly. Can you listen to that?
Yeah. All right, let's start to walk. Samuel, thank you so much. Hello from Texas. Samuel says, Raul, good for you, Rodrigo. Raul Salas.
Oh, great, thank you.
See ya.
That's my dad. Say hi.
See ya, nice to see you all. Lizzie, wow. Sia, is this Central MX? Yes, this is downtown Mexico City. And guys, I'm testing this new app called Haps. I hope that you can hear me. Tell me, how is the quality? How do you see it? Do you see it a little bit different? In Haps, actually, if everyone is watching in Haps, you can actually support us. If you have been enjoying what you see, you can support us. So we can also, support the local economy here. Gracias, buen día.
These guys are... the man here is selling Mexican toys.
Mexican
curios and Mexican toys manufactured by him. Spinning tops, guys. These puppets here, really, these are very folkloric production. Dice, spinning top. All I used to play with this when I was a child.
Long time ago.
Regresamos al rato.
Benjamin, how did they discover all the remains? How did they discover the remains of Templo Mayor? Lizzie, looks good. Thank you so much, Lizzie. How did they discover the remainings, Rodrigo?
That's a very good question. Well, there's many different answers, but they discovered the remainings very. If we want to talk about the right moment, it was an excavation that was happening because the power company wanted to put some wiring, like bury the wires underneath the ground and the sidewalk. So when they were making these drills, they were drilling to make these holes. They suddenly stumbled into one large piece of a round rock that today it's you can find. I want to show you from here. That big, not very good-looking building in gray in the back behind the ruins. That is the museum, the side museum of the Great Temple. This monolith that I'm telling you, this big round rock. You can find it inside, the real one, the authentic one is inside the museum. When these workers from the power company stumbled into this rock and they found it, they called the archaeologists immediately. Now, here comes the other explanation. It's not that we didn't know about the remains and what we have underneath this floor, because ever since the Spanish arrived, there was a record, a history being kept of how the Mexicas used to live. The canals, the water canals that used to be here. Remember that Mexico City was built on a lake, and it is really a basin more than a valley. So the Mexicas, instead of roads, they had water canals. So all of that, we have it well recorded, and we can study it, we can read it, and we can learn about it. But no one really wanted to unearth or excavate these pieces out. In fact, that was because the Spanish didn't care about it, and then the more modern governments of Mexico were a lot more busy with other soap opera related kind of thing in terms of like politics, right? So it's almost like a soap opera is a tragedy. But anyway, these workers, they found the rock, they called the archaeologists, and then finally the project was approved to confirm that the location of the Great Temple was there. So that's when in 1978 started the work, and by 1987, about 10 years later, we had the complete set of the foundation of the Great Temple excavated, and then the museum was also built and opened. That's the
Yes.
answer.
In the museum, you can see all the pictures and all the records about that. No, even in the subway, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's very nice. Yes, in the museum you can see the whole story of how they found it, how they called the president, the leader, the Ministry of Anthropology and History, all the archaeologists, and there are records, photographic records, and how they started to like. Well, there used to be almost 14 houses that looked a little like the yellow house we have here. I mean, not all of them were just like that. That's very beautiful architecture, and it's not exactly as old as the excavation itself. Well, actually, it's not as old as the ruins.
Yeah.
But there were 14 houses that were still built on this space, big space that we have here, that is quite open because that's the space where the pyramid was found, was located. So they had to demolish these 14 houses, completely rebuild them, and then be able to complete and finish the excavation of the Great Temple. And that is why that's, for me, one of the coolest spots in Mexico City, because that's where we meet perfectly the pre-Hispanic or the pre-Columbian moments with the colonial moments and in the 21st century. So that's like, it really is mind-blowing, okay? But I mean, that's just one part of the total mind-blowing setting that we can't call today Centro Histórico. And in fact, guys, today we have also a surprise for you where you're going to be able to take a look, you're going to be able to see a face of Mexico City's downtown that we haven't seen, even us that are local haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And that is like all restaurants have all their tables outdoors.
Exactly.
That's outside.
Martin says far better streaming now, but not buffering now. Is that the Aztec Sunstone that you are talking? And Kid says, great. Is the museum opened?
The museums are closed still right now. Here, this is. Nos vemos, señor. This is a cool moment, guys. The people here are performing some traditional rituals that have to do with cleansing. The person there is being cleansed by the shaman that is wearing some the fur of Tlacuache seems to be, or a fox. I really can't tell right now. But this is cool because it happens even though the tourism is out. These people, they don't do this because they want money. They're doing this. They're performing this here because in a way they are still standing on holy land for the Mexica people. So if you want to get close to the ruins, you should also, in a way, figuratively or symbolically say, you could also get prepared by getting cleansed, and then you can approach the holy temple for your respect.
Yeah.
So the other question, the round monolith that I'm telling you, it's not the sun calendar or the Aztec calendar. They call it the stone of the sun. That one is in the Anthropology Museum. And that one was found later, much earlier in the 1700s, 1790. And the stone of the sun was found over there by the far corner of the National Palace.
Lizzie says, thank you for the history. No worries. I mean, Rodrigo, it's an expert over here. So remember, guys, that we are just some unemployed tour guides. So any support that you want to give us, just liking, watching is great. But also if you want to do any donation, that's even better. And yes, so now we are walking in front of the cathedral. We're going to walk in this direction, right?
Yeah, we're going there.
You know, the only thing that I was remembering from 16th of September, it was super crowded. So maybe, well, what do you think? Because it was actually very busy. So whatever you think that it will work better.
Yeah, well, we will try to, as I said, like we really want you to feel that you're walking with us here in this beautiful site in Mexico City. It's sightseeing today. I will try to be not very deep, in these explanations. I just want to share with you a few anecdotes.
Yes.
And we will be looking for the shade, especially because
the gimbal. And
yeah,
the phone.
that's right.
Thank you so much, Dean, for the 30 cents. Thank you so much, Pablo de la Hoya, for the 30 cents. This is on Hubs, guys, by the way. Like I was telling you, it's a cool thing that you can support us without any requirements.
Cool thing, yeah.
Yes, without any requirements, because in YouTube and in Twitch, it's kind of a hard that we have to meet like 1,000 followers, like 4,000 hours of live stream, which is hard. Brenda, thank you so much for those 30 cents. Can I donate on your pen pal rather than hubs? Yes, for sure, Paquino class. Thank you so much. All right, where are we going now, or what are we seeing, Rodrigo?
Oh yeah, we were saying like just for the sake of the gimbal, try to find as much shade as we can. And well, I just wanted to present to you guys the biggest square or the biggest plaza in Latin America, and we call it Zócalo Square. This is the main plaza of Mexico. From here, every other plaza in the rest of the province in the states of Mexico, the rest of the 31 states, they also have the same kind of location. No, there's always a town, like a town hall. This would be considered the town hall of Mexico.
Yeah.
And well, this one has some of the most important constructions that we can show to you today. That one in the left, that is known as the National Palace. That was the headquarters of the vice-regal period. So the viceroy, which was the representative of the King of Spain during the 300 years of colonization, used to live there. And then after the independence, it became the house of all the different attempts of presidents that we started to have as the constitution and as also the republics that was being shaped around the 19th century. Today, is a government office, is the Ministry of, I think it's the Treasury that is also found there, the Ministry of Economy. And it's at the same time is where the president works, president leaves. So López Obrador, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the Mexican president, that's his house and his office, no? So,
When he's not there, he rented as an Airbnb, guys. So
yeah,
check
he's not
that.
there. He put his room as an Airbnb next to Benito Juárez's room is also for rent. So.
Yeah. See, yes, thank you so much. Sadly, we cannot put the donations on YouTube because we don't meet the requirements. So we are a tiny, tiny channel, but thank you so much.
Yeah, this is just the starting, guys. We are doing this because we love it and because I think you love it too. So
Yes.
why not? Thank you so much for your support.
There was a donation. I didn't saw who was. The notification was super fast of the PayPal, but thank you so much, guys. Now we are starting to use this for paying the cell phone service, but I think that soon we're going to have enough to buy us coffee and tacos.
Yeah, make it just a little bit of a profit. We need our tacos, we need our coffee,
Yeah, Rodrigo is getting skinny, guys.
and we need our tequila. You know, vitamin T is essential to survive in this country.
The Tower of David, it's great to see you here. Hope that are you still in London? Well, we wait you here in Mexico when you come. All right.
So we're just walking in front of the. This is where God lives, I would say. No?
This is
If
his
that's
house.
where the president works and
Yes.
the president lives in the National Palace. This would be the place where God lives and where God works as well. This is the Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico. No, this would be the church to the bishop, and it's also the most important church for all the Catholic or the Christianity here in Mexico City, Catholic Church in this case. Right next to the Metropolitan Cathedral, we have the Church of the Seminar, and it's also now known as the Holy Sagrario. I don't know what's the word in English for that.
Sanctuary? I have no
I
idea.
don't know, but it's like the sacred, I don't know, quarters or something like that. No, but it was also the Church of the Seminar as well. And well, these two are also ruling the northern face of the Zócalo Square. These two are have been standing here since 1500s, 1570s is where they put the first stone on the Metropolitan Cathedral, and it took more than 200 years to be completed. Can you imagine that, guys?
Yeah.
More than 200 years for the project to be over. Now that's what I call faith.
And that's the average time that any
project
any
actually
project.
takes, yeah.
Thank you so much, Pablo, for those $5 over Habs. Thank you so much. And yes, it's for tacos. So let me just turn the camera, and we can both say thank you for that.
Thank you, guys.
So yes, every project lasts like 5 years. So
Yeah,
yes.
you want to get your driver's license, you have to really get used to the possibility that it will take you maybe 5-10 years. No, we're just kidding. We're actually improving that a lot more. You can be now down to 1 year only.
Online. No, also, yeah, online 1 year.
No, we're just joking. You know, we make fun of ourselves. Everybody does that. So I mean, we do it because it was funny because it was true at some point. But anyway, you know, this is what I call fate. I was telling you, the person that was in charge of this project, the moment they started it, was never able to see it complete. But that also happened with the great temple built by the Mexica themselves. The people that built the seventh phase of construction, they never saw the first one because it was way too back in time.
Yeah.
Something similar to this church, and so we can see the beautiful and really magnificent facade that it has, also in combination of many different architectural styles. What happens when you build something that lasts over 200 years? And then during these 200 years, the architecture like trends and styles start to shift and change. Well, what you end up having is that you have a little bit of every style that was ruling at the time, all mashed up together in a single location. So here we will be able to see Manierism, we'll be able to see neoclassic architecture with the pillars and the capitals, and we will be able to see Baroque as well, the Baroque on these pillars on the right side that are like skiing, they are called Salomonic style. And then if you look at the Church of the Seminar, the facade, the big door portal, it has one of the best and better, very well manufactured and very Baroque developed facade. So you can take a look at that. The level of ornament, the level of detail that was used to complete that big front side, this facade, is incredible. And that is entirely Baroque from the middle of the 18th century, the 1700s, guys, okay? The gray pale rock will be called, well, it's the basalt stone, found like very accessible in the nearby areas. But also the second one that we have access to, and this we have seen it and said it before, even with also with Indra, is the presence of volcanic material, guys. Mexico City, remember, it was built, ironically, we don't know exactly why, but very close to volcanoes, on water or over water, and also in a seismic area. So it was not exactly the wisest decision, if you ask me now. But, well, it is what it is. So volcanoes around also gave us the reddish or the purple brownish rock. So that contrast that we see there, guys, represented for the people, for the society of the 17th century, the fusion of these two great civilizations. You know, on one side, it's the European in basalt, and on the other side is the American or the local in the volcanic Tezontli stone.
Great. Raúl says, una toma abierta sería bueno. Yeah, but
we're going to do that.
We're going to do that. So what else? What else? Martin, thank you so much for those 50 cents on Habs. Thank you so much. Hello, Mark from Los Angeles. That's great. And what else? Keith, thank you so much for your 50 cents. Remember, guys, that you can ask us any question. Right now, we are looking at a panoramic view of the main square of the Zócalo. And I remember when it was always like this, always kind of empty, well, just with that thing that it's over there. But yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, we're gonna pan it maybe from left to right,
yeah,
slowly, so that you can get an idea. That's the National Palace that you have there, guys. That's also where the president yells on the Independence Day. Then we have a building of local government also, and the House of Congressmen. Those two are supposed to be mirror images, or one inspired the other. The one on your right is older than the one on the left. And then finally we have over there the commercial area and the beginning of the commercial path, which we will walk later today. So that would be the south, that would be the west. Here we have the north with the cathedral, and finally the east with the National Palace.
This is pretty much the only part of the city, guys, that it's actually, you know, a grid. It's a grid. Thank you so much for the donation, Ismat. 386 pesos. Thank you so much.
Wow, thanks. That's actually more than a case of beer in
yes.
Mexico, so great.
Mark Goldman, thank you for the $1 on Habs. Thank you so much. So, all right, so we are going to walk over there.
Yeah, guys, we're going to take you now to see some of the most emblematic constructions that were built here in Mexico City over the centuries. And there's a reason why Mexico City was also known at some point as the city of the palaces. This is not, of course, an attempt to really compete with all other great and even older cities in Europe or in other countries. This is just an honest attempt to just show you what we have here, and that we can see they're really pretty beautiful, and that we still have them here. No?
Yes. Mark Goldman says, I have been to Mexico City many times, and I have never seen this part of the city. Very cool of you guys to take us there. Well, yes, I think that every person from Mexico City has a special place for the downtown, no? Because we have come here for any government tramets or to shop. So it's or annoying or it's beautiful, but every Mexican has come here, you know. Sometimes the people who comes here, they just live in bubbles sometimes, which I mean, it's okay, but you have to know the city where do you live, no? So I'm glad that we are showing you something new, Mark.
There's a couple of anecdotes, guys, that are really interesting from here. First of all, the cathedral and the Church of the Seminar, they are both built and standing in the shoulders or on top of the remains of a very important Aztec or Mexica temple known as the temple dedicated to the sun, or some kind of figure or personification or advocation of the sun. So the Spanish, the colonizers, they used these remains as their foundations for their own buildings. And since all of the city was built over the bottom of the lake, the ground beneath our feet is very, very soft. So what happens with Mexico City, especially the one that is right here, like in the center, and that has the heaviest buildings, Mexico City is sinking, guys. It's going down, just like the peso next to the dollar.
Yeah.
It's just kidding. But yeah, we have the sinking problem. And the cathedral, it's quite tilted, actually. It's crooked, just as many other buildings that you will be able to see around here. They are crooked or tilted because they're sinking more from one side than the other. And that's because some of these buildings have just part of their complete size on top of the remain of an Aztec pyramid. So what happens is that if you have this big solid foundation here and your building is larger, then it will start to sink on the side that doesn't have any support, right? So that's what's happening with this cathedral and with many more buildings around here.
Keith says there is a new colorful design on the ground near the Zócalo. Will you show it? I think we are going to walk over there.
We're going to walk over there.
It doesn't look that nice if you don't have a drone. But yeah, we are going to show it. Pablo says, I was so amazed the first time I got to see all of this in person. I hope to be back soon and experience it as an adult. Yeah, that will be, I mean, I'm sure that you have amazing memories when you were a child. And but yeah, definitely still you need to know more about the city. Paquino Class says PayPal donation sent. Thank you so much. And Samuel says, is it safe to travel to Mexico City? Thinking about going to March. Yes, Samuel, we are now in like a partial lockdown. Try to get like a nice Airbnb because maybe you're going to spend more time in your Airbnb than you actually think. But most of the restaurants are open for al fresco dining, and so yes, I will say that it's good even that the pandemic. What are we seeing here, Rodrigo?
Well, these are my friends. They have been with this. This is like a magazine or newspaper stand, but little by little they started to like specialized in very old classic images of the icons of Mexican different icons. So you can probably distinguish some of them like El Santo, no? These are the wrestlers from Lucha Libre, or you can distinguish Frida Kahlo. These are real photographs, and they reproduce them. You can buy them, take them, and then put them in a frame if you want to. This is Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo together. The very amazing, interesting, and super progressive couple of the early 20th century. Pancho Villa. So this is the guy that was leading the revolution from the north, the leader of the division of the north. And well, his name was really Doroteo Arango. We went to see his mausoleum. Remember, guys, these photographs are real. Porfirio Diaz, this is the guy. Now you can see a face of the person that was responsible for the building of Roma and Condesa neighborhood. Is this guy here? He defended Mexico against the French, but once he became a president, maybe because of the actual relationship he had close to the French people, he wanted to have Mexico City as a small Paris. He was obsessed with the French style architecture and the bourgeoisie canons of beauty and modern life, so to say. So now you can see a face of him.
Yeah. So is Villa has been the only Mexican that the U.S. put a price to the head?
Look, let's take a look. Oh, I think for now, at least, he's the most famous.
Yeah.
There was also some guy known as Salvador Cienfuegos, but well, that's a different story. This is a photograph. This is not a photograph, guys. This is a lithography. This is a painting. Well, it's more like it's carved, but it shows part of Mexico City in the years where the canals were still alive. And this is probably, I'm pretty sure this is the Canal of La Viga, one of the canals that survived even to the first decades of the 20th century, to the 1930s. So you can see the boats that are pushed by people, and you can see the churches. These are the volcanoes in the eastern landscape. So this would be the eastern portion, and this canal would run south to north. That's La Viga Canal.
The Tower of David. Amazing to see my favorite city, guys. So many memories from exactly where you are. I might be back next month. We can do a live pastor tasting. Gracias.
Bueno, muchas gracias, chido. Ahí estamos. Cuídense mucho.
All right. Over here?
Sí, por acá. Gracias.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much. Sadly, I cannot see how many of you are here. Maybe we are alone. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you're watching the replay. Also, remember that you can ask us any questions. In Mexico City, well, this is the downtown. Usually it's very busy. Right now, because of the pandemic, a lot of the businesses are closed. So also the streets, which I mean, honestly makes it a little bit nice to walk over here, even that we know that it's very weird times. But yeah, here we are. We are walking on the way to 16th of September.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna walk. We're going to show you now, guys. The first stop is going to be the the Grand Hotel, Mexico City. That's the building.
All right. Maybe you have seen it in the James Bond movie, no?
That's right. If any of you, by any chance, watched the latest movie, well, the last movie, I think it was the last James Bond movie. I can't be sure.
I think that there's another James Bond now.
I don't know, but it was that one called Spectre was filmed in Mexico City. Only the first 15 minutes, actually.
Yeah.
And then the rest, they go somewhere else. So if you want to take a look at this square and Daniel Craig. Oh, we see not the competence, but another fellow, Mike, that is doing same as we are.
Yeah, he's doing also a live stream. And I actually saw him the other day in Chapultepec while I was doing my own stream. So that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, ese gimbal se ve chido. Se ve bien.
Pero lo tiene que agarrar él.
Sí, lo que está
He's gotta hold it.
Ajá.
All right, guys, we're walking now on this is the western portion of the Zócalo. And just to give you a quick comment, the tents that we have today, they were actually covering the whole square not long ago. And these people, they were basically the opposition to the president. No, it's a bunch or a group of organized citizens that they don't want to support the president anymore. And well, they have a proposition, a proposal to ask the rest of the people to ask the president to quit his term. But well, they have been losing power as the time passes by, and now they only have a small corner of the square. No. The interesting thing is that the western portion of the Zócalo is where we would find the markets in the old times, in the colonial times, the 16th, 17th, 18th century, the largest markets. Remember that the city back then wasn't much bigger than what we call today Centro. Don't imagine the 25 million people city we have today. That's crazy. So the market that used to be here was known as El Parián and the market of Baratillo. This was a very commercial area. Today, guys, the commerce has now spread all over the streets around, and especially over the eastern portion and the western portion. After these markets went on fire and they had to be demolished and destroyed, these commerces started to migrate a little more over there. So we're going to be able to see some of these commerce as we walk by. But also, the Grand Hotel was, before becoming the Grand Hotel, it was a boutique, like a gallery of European items that were coming to Mexico in the 19th century.
The fanciest one back
then.
The
fanciest, yeah, exactly. If you wanted to feel that you were in the Fifth Avenue, no?
Yeah.
Like in Mazarik, in Polanco,
Mazarik, yeah,
Macy's, that would be the one, no?
Paquino class, 386 by Penpal. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So with that, we're going to buy something to eat and and a snack because after talking a lot, sometimes we need it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So this is the yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is the beginning of the polychromatic decoration of the public pedestrian areas of Zócalo. That's actually, if you ask me, something I would give 2 thumbs up for sure, because when I was, well, let's say even 10, more than maybe 12 years ago, Zócalo didn't have these little gardens as well protected, as preserved as they are right now. And it didn't have these public areas where you can have now plants and places to just come chill, sit down, grab a book, have a conversation, bring your coffee, you know?
Yeah.
So this part here where the colors that I can show you, this part here, it didn't exist. It was always covered by cars, and even before that, when Mexico City was still considered to be dangerous, guys, when the reputation was still ruling people's minds, it was also probably covered by informal commerce.
Yeah.
It was always busy. Centro is probably the part of Mexico City that has the biggest number of people at the same time every day, or at least it was until the pandemic, until COVID hit and struck Mexico at the same time. Well, now we can have a different perspective. We are from the southwestern corner of Zócalo. We can show you now the city we can see, remember?
Yeah.
Now try to imagine with me that we would be able to turn on our X-ray vision and you would try to look down underneath the square and down underneath the palaces and the cathedral. Now you would be able to discover the palaces, but of the Mexica. Moctezuma, Cuauhtémoc, Cuitláhuac, Axayacat, all those guys, Ixcoat, Tizoc, all those guys that lived and ruled over the Mexica people, they had their houses, their palaces, and their places right here, no? And they're still found underneath.
Yes, that's true. I agree with Rodrigo that this looks good, and it's good that there is less traffic. I just don't want to research how much they spent because it's going to be for sure like 5 million pesos or something like that in some paint, and I'm sure that they are going to say, "Oh no, we paid a really good artist, a great designer to design this." No.
Well, you know what? The thing is that this is a I would say this is a contemporary adaptation.
Yeah.
But it's inspired on the Mexican fabrics.
Yeah.
So if you look at the ponchos and the fabrics and the tapestries that you can buy, for instance, in the market of Ciudadela, or that can be considered folk art in Mexico, the patterns that you'll find in the embroideries or in the stitch, it's similar to this, but it has now like more contemporary touch. No, it's more like very, very geometric.
Yes, that's true. Inspired. Like I remember once that they say I was having a tour with a woman that had a project of indigenous art, and she says, "This is not indigenous inspired. This is indigenous people inspired." No,
exactly.
So it's the indigenous people that actually made the art. So, all right, we're walking over. No, it's not that busy. It was super busy when I came before. Urbanist, exploring cities. You're starting to get more viewers. Awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Urbanist. Like I said, you're the ones also that inspired me. And I discovered this app that is called Haps. You should try it. Apparently, the streaming quality is better. It doesn't have any like glitches. So take a look to it. I can send you the link because it's not that easy to find. Where and what's Keith? I think it's so beautiful. Love the design. Yeah, I mean it's pretty to see it, and it's nice to spend some time over there. Joe Murillo, well said. All right.
Yeah, actually, all that part here, you can see the traffic light, guys. The traffic light in red.
Yeah.
It was for cars that were allowed to drive over this part, no, these lanes. Now the traffic light's there, but there's no cars, and now we have those benches. So yeah, I think it's really good. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Probably little by little, we'll start to bring less people at the same time to this part of town.
Yeah,
let's start now with the next part. We will start walking down by the streets in the city, in the centro, and the building that you have behind me is the Grand Hotel in Mexico City. So you can see the facade. No, this is entirely 18th century also, and inspired in the neoclassic neoclassic style of architecture. This one was the great boutique for the finest products coming from different corners of the world. In fact, that store there called El Nuevo Mundo, it's like the daughter. After this became the hotel, like a lot of these like materials and merchandise started to like be sold in many other apartment stores around here. And we have actually a couple that are quite famous. One is known as Liverpool, like the port in England, and the other one is known as the Iron Palace or the Palacio de Hierro. And that's because iron as a construction material was very popular around the time it was built.
Look at the iron work actually over there. So Hotel Ciudad de Mexico.
Exactly.
Urbanist looks great. Like the dynamic graphics, Iconoclast, string quality is very good. Thank you. I'm glad that we are giving you finally better quality.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Again. All of this, we do it with all our special intention to make you guys feel comfortable and have a good time. Take a look at this, huh? You can see what can we find there? Pastor tacos, maybe?
Street tacos. Look at this entrance, guys.
This is just a chandelier. Has been now adapted, of course, for electrical power, but it may have actually be of real candles itself, made of metal as well. So it's just an incredible chandelier. And this is the main access to the Grand Hotel Mexico City. It also has skylight actually that it's a vitrol, it's a stained glass on the ceiling. Sadly, I don't know if we can actually show you that, guys.
I don't think so, but let's ask. Usually, pre-COVID times, it's okay, but right now, I think that it's a little bit more complicated. Let's see. Let's see if Rodrigo can move his contacts. Carry on. Just as you were on. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we are streaming. We were trying today because apparently there's a lot of our viewers online right now. So yes. Well, sadly we couldn't show you the inside, guys. Keith, beautiful chandelier. Yes, I want one of those for my house. Well, first I want a house that I can actually put a chandelier. So this is how the restaurants are adapting, guys. Usually, yeah, all of this is not here, no. So here you can see how they are, putting the tables, the chairs. It's nice. I mean, we usually have restaurants that they do this, but now it's more like pretty much every restaurant, right? Look at the beeps.
Yeah, guys, actually didn't say this, but this street we are walking on right now, it goes all straight to the other side by the southern corner of the National Palace. This one was a water canal even 120 years ago. It was known as the Acequia Real. So from that La Viga Canal that we showed you before in the newspaper stall, the people could still actually make it on a boat from that canal all the way down to the Plaza of the Constitution or the Zócalo Square.
Yeah, there's
Can you
old
imagine that?
pictures. Yes. Kid, how much is to stay for a night over there? Like 2,000 pesos, I think. No, how much would you say
For a night in
over
this
there?
Grand Hotel,
Yeah.
I think maybe 2,000 pesos would be like maybe a hole in the wall, you said, no?
Yeah, like the cleaning room.
I think maybe 2,500. So I would go
Like
for like 100.
150 US.
Yeah, 150 US.
150
a night,
US.
maybe.
Yes.
Voy a poner esto aquí.
So as you can see, the people has to be advertising the shops that they are open on the street because they cannot have as many people as usual on the inside, right?
Yes, guys. This is not only just like a touristic activity. This is also I would consider it anthropological. Like you are now witnessing something that even us are completely like freaking out in a way. Not freaking out, but we are like not used to this at all. And we are now seeing how people are really fighting to survive, trying to bring their businesses back and up, because the pandemic was really putting them against the wall. And this is also us trying to do the same.
Yeah.
I mean, here we can show you. This is from the Belle Époque, as in one of another palaces, and this is the building of the French post office. It's called. That's the name of the building, and it operated as that as well. But you can see the interesting thing about this is the little mosaic. It's all the tiles, tiny little pieces like beads that have been used as tiles in order to ornate and decorate the facade of this building. It's really something. Now, that's the cool thing, guys. In Mexico City downtown, you can find a lot to see, but also if you leave your site for a while, you can find also amazing
More things to see.
more things to see, amazing stuff. That's right.
All right, where are we walking?
We're gonna walk now down by Isabela Católica.
Okay. All right.
Also, guys, another cool thing is that however you might think this is a lot of people on the street, this is nothing compared to how it used to be really before.
Yeah, no, not even a quarter of this.
That's right.
Usually, I mean, I rather not to come or come to the in early morning or late at night because it's beautiful to see the street empty, you know?
Yeah, and by empty we mean with still some people. But
Yeah,
not as
maybe
much.
like this. So remember, this street, guys, is called 16th of September, which is our Independence Day. Okay, so no Cinco de Mayo, in case that you were still wondering that.
Yeah, that's you can read it there. 16 de septiembre. That is the moment that the independence struggle started. That's important to know. It was not the day when it finished; it's when it started. But every great like action has to start someday, and that was our independence. Well, not our Mexican independence in general. It's September the 16th. So I'm not telling you shouldn't celebrate Cinco de Mayo anymore. Please do, by all means. Get drunk and party with all your Mexican friends over there. But just remember that it's not independence. Cinco de Mayo is basically when we beat the French.
Yeah.
Uh,
Carrie-Ann says, glad to see that you're using Hubs again. Great video quality like last night. No more interruptions. That's great. Yeah, I'm liking this app because of that. Costera Meditation, what's a good hotel that I can be close to everything? I will say that the Barcelona, no, like the one that we saw in the last stream with Rodrigo, because it's over Reforma, it's near downtown, but also you can really easily go to Juárez, Roma, Condesa, no, and especially if you rent like one of the city bikes, you can go super easy there. No, what do you think, Rodrigo?
Yeah, that's a great place to stay. For that matter, like if you want to be sort of like close to everything in a very strategic central position,
Yeah,
that or any of the other hotels that are surrounding this area could be great. If you want to be closer to this area, closer to downtown, to Centro, we can show you one right now. We're actually we're going to see it from outside. That is known Downtown Beds.
yeah. Like not, sometimes the problem is that if you stay too much in the downtown, they close the streets like this. No, when there's march, when there's protest, when there's things like that. No.
Exactly. This is also it's important to understand, guys, that because of the importance, political, economical, and religious or spiritual importance of this site or location, it's also going to be the more troublesome eventually if there's something going on. If anything should happen, then you will probably face closed or blocked roads and stuff like that. So that is the only inconvenience. But if you like walking your way around, then if you stay in downtown, you're good to go to Roma as well, or get one of these rented bikes. Behind me, there is another building known as Casa Boker, and it's also considered one of the local palaces of this area. This street is known as Elizabeth the Catholic. Is the queen of the kingdom of Castilla. That after marrying to Fernando de Aragon, they were able to kind of like establish the nation of Spain after they got liberated from the Moorish people. And that's when they jumped over the Atlantic and made it to the Antilles, and eventually, well, the rest is history. But it's important to know that if it wasn't because of this lady, in a way, probably there would be no discovery of America. And I will use just the words that everybody uses, because this is not a lecture to see if we should use the word discover or not. The Americas were already here. The people were advanced civilizations. They just found the island, okay?
Paquino Class says, Hotel Cansa Gonzalez in Cuauhtemoc. I have heard of that one, but yeah, I mean, if it's in Cuauhtemoc, it's very, like, how do you call it? Like, central, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As you can see here in this part, it starts to get a little bit busier, right? We are going on the way to some beautiful palaces. So yeah, let us know if you're enjoying this, guys. Give us a like, share it, and if you really want to go your way up, a donation, it's always great. We really, really appreciate it. So yes, here in the downtown, I have to be watching my step. So look at this. The Boker Palace is amazing.
Yeah. At the bottom, there's a convenience store that belongs to the wealthiest, the richest man in Mexico and in the Americas, I guess. It's Carlos Slim, the telecommunication tycoon for some. It also has a very specialized hardware store. If you like Swiss Army knives and all kind of gear, even seeds for you to like plant or grow kale or lettuce or whatever.
There's still seeds?
Yeah, you can plant. Yeah, basil, whatever. You can find the seeds also there. And well, in the upper part, there's these offices. But the greatest and the coolest thing is just the delicacy of the ornaments at the very top. In this building, it's amazing. We still have it around, also from the 18th century.
I think it might be the fanciest hardware store that you will ever see.
Yeah, well, that's what happens here in Centro, is that you might have a super beautiful architecture, like really great building, but then the shops at the bottom, they can sell you ties or suits or shoes, no?
Yeah.
We have here, this is the Spanish Casino. That's the name of the building, and it was also, yeah, for the Spanish community, still like very strong and present in Mexico, to have like a gathering spot, like sort of like a club, no?
Yeah.
A casino. It's like 1903. We can see the date there, and the sculptures that decorate the great door. Take a look at that door, guys. Also the lamps, no, the chandeliers that are hanging from both sides, flanking the door, and then we have these like very European, sort of like classic, no, the figures of the Roman and the Greek mythology are present there in a way. Probably related to also known like concepts of knowledge and science or religion. Who knows? No, in this case. And then, well, you can see the facade is quite incredible. No? Right in front of the Spanish Casino.
Paquino class says that if we can go into the summer, do you think we can go inside?
Inside the Sunburns?
Yeah, it's open.
I think so.
Let's try it.
Let's try. Yeah.
Let's try it. We do a special requests for the sponsors. For the donations, we do the special requests. I don't know if it's open. Let's see, because from what I know, I think that only the drugstore, because it's the essential thing right now. The drugstore and maybe pretty much maybe the bank if they have like an ATM or something like that. Let's check. Let's check because yeah, you can walk. We're going to show you a little bit of the inside of the Sanborns, guys. Roberto Boker and
company. Roberto Boker and company.
And company. Can we? No. Let's wait. Let's wait.
See. Now it's important, guys, that these Sanborns shouldn't be confused with the one in the House of Tiles. That we will also take a look at it in a moment. Actually, that way we can go inside too, and that's another piece of palace here in Mexico City.
I think for a while they were complaining that the Sanborns was taking over all the beautiful palaces. No?
Yes. Welcome.
All right, so this is the Sanborns.
Oh, we just came through the exit.
Yeah.
So thanks for visiting.
Let's check. I hope that we don't lose signal inside.
Maybe just a quick walk.
Yeah, just a quick walk over there. Let's see. I will put it over here. Yeah, buenas tardes. Gracias. So they give you hand sanitizer as soon as you enter. You can get some chocolates over here. You know.
There's all sort of Mexican chocolates.
Do you have any favorite?
Well, I really love chocolate. I like dark chocolate, not very sweet, more cacao than sugar or milk. But did you know, guys, that the plant of cacao that is made it's used to make chocolate. The best one you'll find it in Mexico and Venezuela only.
Yeah.
And it was taken by the first world nations in Europe, taken to Switzerland, to Belgium, and then they turned it into the chocolate we know from Europe. But the main ingredient, the cacao, was coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
From the Mayan lands, that's where cacao grows, and yeah, it was also a sacred drink to our ancestors, to the pre-Columbian civilizations.
Only reserved for certain people, like the royalty. Look at this, the Bocho.
Oh yeah,
the Volkswagen.
This is this Volkswagen classic taxi from the 60s maybe.
Yeah,
60s,
all the way
70s.
till the 90s maybe.
All the way to the 2000s. The
Really?
2000s we still have Bochos, yeah, Volkswagen.
Yeah,
as taxis.
Yeah, you're right, because I ride those. Yeah, so you can get books. There's a little bit of everything here.
And the restaurant.
Yeah, bedrooms. Sanborns always means bedrooms.
Yeah, restaurants to most people.
Yes. All right, let's go.
I mean, it's a good store if you want to buy anything that is handy, like from body lotion to maybe sunscreen to a bottle of water, a puzzle if you want to make a puzzle, anything like.
It's good for last minute gifts.
Yeah, exactly. Last minute gifts.
Expensive, but it's last minute, no? And Mexicans, we love to shop like that. you want to buy technology, you can get cell phones. Like they have even jackets, a little bit of clothing. Yeah. So yeah. I wonder how they choose what to sell. Huh? Like you can find also blenders. It's weird. Now that one, guys, on the right side, it's another palace considered. It does look a little more sober, if you ask me. Maybe to your eyes, it doesn't look as exaggerated as Baroque, no, as decorated as others we saw before. But take a look at the size of the building itself, and that was just a single family's house or quarters. And once inside, it's even bigger. They have a garden inside with trees. No, that's one of the best tasty restaurants here in the city. It's recommended. It's known as Azul Histórico. Yeah. And the hotel is known as Downtown Beds. They also have a hostel. If the budget is too high for the actual rooms, you can stay at the hostel, which is in the back part. Yeah, back seat of all of that. Thanks. No worry, packing a class. This one was recovered recently, about 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, because it was sort of like abandoned. The government was not really paying attention to some of these like classic old colonial constructions. So it was completely refurnished, inside and adapted. But now it has different types of shops and Mexican galleries, especially for mezcal, folk art, artisan, hands and crafts, and the hotel and the restaurants. Yeah, it's beautiful. The downtown hotel. So we are walking. Which is this one? Isabel la Católica, right? Isabel la Católica. Yeah. Elizabeth the Catholic. ¿Es que podemos ver el árbol ahí adentro? Pues vamos a preguntar, ¿no? Let's ask if we can enter over there. Let's see. Chilangos. That's the name for. Chilangos? Yeah. ¿De quién? They had that was like the brand of the car. Chilangos is the people, how we call the people of Mexico City. ¿Podemos pasar aquí a ver el patio nada más? Sí, gracias. Yeah. All right, we can go in, guys. So let's see. Wow, interesting. These guys were a lot friendlier than the ones in the Grand Hotel. Well, it's fancier. So look at this. This is the restaurant, Azul Histórico. It's a very good restaurant. As you can see, they have much less tables than usually. No, I don't want to go too inside because maybe we lose the reception, and I don't want that. Over here it says that it's great, but anyway, look at those trees, how they adapt them to have like that ceiling. It's beautiful. What's your favorite dish over here, Rodrigo? The zucchini flower or squash blossom cream. It's just to die for, really. It's amazing. Yeah. It's like a small chain. Now they are owned by the chef Ricardo Muñoz Zurita, and it's one of the best, most important, chefs for Mexican food. Renowned chefs, yeah. And well, you can take a look at the remains of the construction. This one belonged to it was the house of the Counts of Miravalle. So it was a Spanish family that were given big portions of land in Mexico. They were given the counties, so that's why they would become counts, and the countess as well. And well, just take a look at their very humble mansions they used to have here in the colonial times. Yeah. Look at the pillars, the columns, the archery as well. The part over there, maybe you can see it, that has this pattern of rocks between smaller pebbles between bigger rocks. Those were the parts that were rebuilt in the intention, with the intention of making the different galleries or shops. The restaurant, it's called
Azul Histórico.
Hi, Benjamin. Yes, and Pablo. Hi. It's okay if we send you to Habs Reddit accounts. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you so much. Sure. That will be amazing. We're still going to be like 30 minutes over here.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Oh, look, guys, here. These ones, when they're operating, hold on. Sorry. These ones, when they're operating, these are griddles. So this is where you would cook tortillas for tacos, and they're made of clay. So these are clay griddles. Down at the bottom should be fire mostly made with charcoal or wood. So this is also very artisanal process in a way to make tortillas and tacos. That's one of the, I would say, highlights of this place in terms of tortilla. Sadly, again, because of the demand, they are not really working with this outdoors. They're working with them indoors at the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really like how they try to adapt like the very traditional way of cooking, the traditional, cooking methods, even like the decoration to the modern times.
Welcome back to the streets.
So still daylight. Yeah, thank you, Pablo, for sending it into Reddit. Maybe there's some people over there that are going to like it. So we keep walking on Isabel la Católica. Sadly, in this street, well, there's not a lot of room to adapt to the,
To the external,
to the
external
alfresco
tables.
dining. But
But they're doing
yeah,
exactly. But they're doing as much as they can.
yes,
This is a Mexican chain actually.
yeah, the pirates, no,
burgers.
the pirates.
Pirate burgers.
It's weird. Have you tried them?
I have, and they're actually quite tasty.
They are affordable, no, and they are huge.
Affordable, huge, and they can also be customized. Like you can choose it's like a Subway, but in burgers. You can choose
Yeah, like
not your
Subway.
bread, but you can choose like the cheese you want.
Yeah.
If you want like grilled onion or not, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
guys, we made it now finally to probably one of the most renowned and famous streets in Mexico City. Everybody has been to Mexico City, has walked over this street, but it's also one of the oldest streets in the city, and also one of one of the ones that keeps a lot more anecdotes and historical facts. This is the street of Madero today, but it has changed of names over the years several times. In fact, as you can see here, just to give you a quick sample, in the time between, and this is only the time lapse there, the gap of time is not even accurate entirely, but this portion of Madero Street was known as Plateros. Plateros because that's the people that work with silver. So all
Silver
the people,
makers, no?
the silver men that were artisans, either miners, the ones that were working with the silver, making jewelry out of silver. As you know, Mexico has large mines of silver. We have very large, let's say, deposits of this mineral. So all the people that were allowed to sell and make commerce with silver were allowed to do it only in these blocks, on these blocks of the street. So that's why over there you can see where it says Centro Joyero. All those shops that are closed now, all of them, they sell jewelry today. No? Now, not only silver jewelry, you'll find gold, you'll find gold leaf, you'll find diamonds, you'll find glass, all kinds of jewelry you'll find them. And also, especially a special mention to the Mexican silver as well. No?
Exactly. Yes.
But now the whole street is known as Madero, and here we can show you just this beautiful corner that has presence of different centuries in history or in time. Probably I would say the oldest building would be this one.
This is the Church of
Profesa.
Profesa.
Exactly. Well, it's known as La Profesa, but it's a church. It has a different name. I just forgot the name right now. Apologies, people. It's just slipped my mind. I'm sorry, but it belonged to the Jesuits. That's for sure. That one I know.
I think we have to walk somewhere because we have poor connection.
Okay,
here.
we'll walk there. We'll walk somewhere then.
Yeah. Connection got a little bit bad. All right, let's try to walk because, well, I don't know why.
What about Pastor Tacos right now?
Maybe that doesn't sound bad.
Or ice cream maybe. So
Maybe.
anyway, just the church is it's 1700s, and then we have 1800s here in this beautiful building known as the Estanquillo Museum today,
Yeah.
or it's known as La Esmeralda also. The name of the building, La Esmeralda, and then we have late 19th century, 20th century here, the 1900s in this corner. So all different styles, you can really have them accessible by just taking a 360 view.
It says you are getting pixelated at times, but audio is okay. I wonder why. Yeah, it says over here poor connection. Now it's getting good. Now it's getting bad again. Damn it.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Apologies for that.
I tried to find the best cell phone service, but so it's still Mexican internet. So yeah, sorry. Let's see if walking over the next street gets better. Maybe that one was a little bit too busy. Let's see. We are walking on the way to Cinco de Mayo. Have you tried those tacos Caifán? I don't even remember
Yes,
them.
I have, but they were not there.
Yeah,
the,
right?
The taqueria, the main one is in Alameda.
Ah,
It's in the
yeah.
corner of Valderas.
I heard that it's like the cheap cousin of Califa, no?
The name of the church, guys, is San Felipe Neri. It's dedicated to a
San
saint that
Felipe
just
Neri.
says San Felipe Neri.
All right, let's see. It still says poor connection. Let's see if we can get it better. Over here, maybe. Ah, yeah, here's getting better. Oh no. It's kind of a glitchy. It says poor connection. Sorry, guys.
Is it getting better?
It was, then it not. It's unstable, so it goes up and down, up and down. Let me know if you can. You are saying that the audio it's okay, right?
Maybe from here, guys, just to give you a very quick example of what we were mentioning of the sinking problem of the city. From here, you can maybe see it better. If you look at San Felipe Neri's church, La Propesa, please tell me that you can actually see how tilted it is. Feels almost like the Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
You know what? Actually, I remember the girl that told me about the app told me that sometimes you have. No. How do I see it? Because I'm not sure if it's still going on. Let me know if you're still see us or hear us, guys, because it has been very bad, the signal, for a couple of minutes. Low battery. Well, let's see. I know. Okay, I'm not sure. Can you still see us, hear us, guys?
Give us a signal.
Yeah, give us a signal that you're alive. Let's see. Because something that they told me it's that maybe it goes bad, so you can restart it, and you have like a 2-minute gap that it's good. Should we try that?
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's try it. Yeah, I think it's we're getting some glitches. See. All right, let's try something.